Dear Ms. President, thank you so much for this opportunity. It's so nice that now you could invite me as the floor is yours and not the screen is yours. First of all, I would like to determine the contributors and supporters of this event and research groups. Of course, as to this event, it's worth emphasizing the Hungarian Constitutional Court and its president, who provided us this nice and symbolic venue for this conference. I also have to determine our president. Thank you so much, Professor, for this nice activity and supporting activity. I would like to send many thanks to Professor Jelentinovic to be here and to present our book. Of course, I would like to express my gratitude for their contributions to the members and the head and secretary of the research group concerning the interpretation and reasoning of the constitution of the given constitutional courts. I would like to continue this order with the organizer partners, as to the Hungarian Academy of Science, of course, numerous associations, especially the Central European Association for Comparative Law. And I do not want to forget, at last but not least, my colleagues in the Ferenc Mádl Institute of Comparative Law. Many thanks for your contribution and support. Thank you so much. In the second part of my opening speech, or in my presentation, I would like to deal with the outcomes and results of the Central European Professors Network. First of all, it's worth noticing that the manager of this professor network is Ferenc Mádl Institute. This institute has numerous activities, tasks, for example, to support the lawmaking procedure activity of the Hungarian government. Our colleagues, they have an opportunity to pursue their own research. But as a new project, as a new chance to us, it was the Central European Professors Network. The Hungarian government decided to launch this project at the end of 2020. And we were able to set up the 4 research groups of the Central European Professors Network in January of 2021. It's worth noticing that in this project we have an essential partner, and this essential partner is the Institute of Justice in Warsaw, in Poland. The Ferenc Mádl Institute set up 4 research groups, including professors from the Central European region. It means the Visegrad countries, and also Croatia, Slovenia, and Serbia. And on the other side, the Polish partner also set up 4 research groups. This is a special Polish-Hungarian research platform, and I hope that we can visit their closing conference next week in Warsaw. As to the Hungarian side of this project, now I would like to present, the main task of the members of these research groups. One of them, or the main contribution, is connected to books. We invited these partners from different countries to publish books. And these books, they are connected to different topics. One of them, of course, the reasoning and the interpretation methods of constitutional courts of this region. There is a book about the protection of family from a legal perspective. There is a topic about the freedom of expression connected especially to the digital challengings, especially to the social media. And there is a book concerning the religious freedom as well. On the slide in our background, you can see this book, but I'm absolutely glad that now you can enjoy also the book in your hands, of course. Some words about the books. I think it's absolutely obvious what does it mean, freedom of expression, pluralism in the modern times, concerning these social media. It's challenging issues not only for Hungary, not only for the countries of this region, but for all countries in the European Union and outside of the EU. In this book, you can read some interesting approach, and I hope that some useful approach, for example, in Poland, and there were other precious contributions from the members of the group. The Freedom of Expression book was edited by the director of the Institute of Justice in Warsaw. The second book was edited by the vice director, deputy director of this institute, Pavel Sobčík. Professor Sobčík is also dean of the Faculty of Law in University of Opole. As to the topic itself, it's worth noticing that, via the professors, the Central European Professors Network, we try to find some common characteristics of this region, of the legal orders of this region. I think that this topic, especially the religious symbols and their application in the public sphere, was a nice example that this part of the regulation, it's so similar in these countries, except, however, Slovenia, in which we can find a little bit different approach in connection with this topic. It was interesting that, however, of course, we can find a constitutional court decision connected to this issue. But, for example, the regulation and the regular court's practice, it's not as wide, it's not as detailed. The reason was absolutely obvious, because this usage of these religious symbols were so traditional. It's part of the tradition of these countries. Therefore, for me, this field of law and practice symbolize a kind of common values as to this region. We can make a similar conclusion in connection with the book edited by Professor Barzo and Professor Lenković. Professor Lenković, however, he was a former president of the Hungarian Constitutional Court, and he was also an ombudsman of Hungary. In this book, they and of course the contributor, the members of this research group, dealt with the definitions of family, marriage, also the rules of adoption, and so on and so on. And we can say that in some aspects there are almost the same rules. For example, what does it mean marriage? This is a partnership of a man and a woman. There was also similarities in connection with adoption as well. In my opinion, therefore, this approach of these countries also reflects a kind of common values in this region. As to the book of the present research group, now, of course, I would like to provide an opportunity for Professor Gyerentynyi to summarize the outcomes of this book. However, in my opinion, it's also a quite precious part of this Central European Professors Network. Besides these books, we also asked our partners, our members, to make a kind of contribution connected to so-called dissemination events. What does it mean, dissemination events? That was maybe one of the first questions from the members. As you can see on the slide, it includes numerous forms of activity, organizing webinars, roundtable discussions, interviews, also different kind of articles, and so on and so on. I think the members of the groups, they were so successful. Now you can enjoy the status of the number of these different dissemination events as to on 26 November 2021. It means that we has not closed, the waves of the dissemination event. We will do it only in December. Beside the activity of the research groups, we also launched another project. Of course, we also try to involve some of our members of our research group. This is the so-called Central European Junior Program, which program has two pillars: one PhD program connected to a doctoral school, and another one is an internship program connected to the Ferenc Mádl Institute of Comparative Law. I'm so glad that we can welcome our young researcher partners in the audience of this conference as well. They graduated not merely in Hungary, but also in Slovakia, in Czech Republic, in Poland, and in Serbia. This program also provided an opportunity for us to invite professors from this region as supervisors, as lecturers, and provided another opportunity to launch a book series connected to this project. And this year and next year, we are devoted to publish 10 books connected to this project. Here on the slide, of course, you can see the first book. This is about the lecture of East Central European countries as to the history of law. And the name of the series is Legal Studies on Central Europe. As you can see, 10 books with quite comprehensive approach as to the fields of law, history of law, also constitutional law, also civil law, also integration theories deriving from this region, also, for example, international public law, EU law, and so on and so on. That I think it can reflect the specialties of this region as well. Another tasks of the research groups was to write articles, of course, scientific articles. This great amount of their contributions provided another opportunities to establish a new structure, a new framework for this cooperation. This is a journal. We asked our partners about the potential names, titles of this journal, and as you can see, that is the outcome of this activity. This is the law, identity, and values. In this year, I hope that we can publish the first issues of the journal, connected to the activity and articles of the members of the Central European Professors Network. I hope that we can do it in digital form, and of course later we would like to produce this journal in the printed version as well. I previously mentioned 2 book series and a journal. This situation demanded a new phase in this fair, and that was the reason why we could establish a new publisher house. That is the CEA Publishing. You can enjoy the logo of the coat of arms of this new house on the cover of the book as well. Our intention is to somehow represent in this specific form also the jurisprudence of this region. We would like to provide an institutional framework for this research activities of the professors of this region in this form as well. Of course, this is a new house, this is a new publishing house. Therefore, we're absolutely aware that we are at the beginning of a procedure, but we hope that we can provide a long-run activity with this house. It's a nice thing that we have an institute, Ferenc Mádl Institute. We try to manage this project. However, there was a lack, in our opinion, as to another kind of institutional framework in this region, and we were devoted to somehow launch another organization. This is a civil organization. This is the name of this organization is Central European Association for Comparative Law, via which we try to somehow gather these professors of this region, gather to find topics, of the cooperation. This organization was established by three national associations, and in this year, other three organizations expressed their intention to join this association, one from Hungary, one from Slovakia, one from Poland. Therefore, I hope that this is a proper form of the cooperation. According to the plan of this association, the first topic of their activity will concentrate on the assessment of scientific activity connected to the jurisprudence, because it's so topical issue, as far as I know. Also, for example, in the Czech Republic, in Slovakia, in Poland, in Hungary, maybe in Serbia as well. As far as I know, however, you have a relatively stable system in Croatia, but maybe your system connected to a very interesting decision of Constitutional Court maybe can represent a kind of model, Professor Janečinović. Therefore, I think it's quite interesting, maybe not for us, for Hungarians, but also for other countries' scientific community as well. At the end of my presentation, I would like to deal with the future of the, not in this connection, not the future of Europe, but the future of the Central European Professors Network. It's worth noticing that your activity, your contribution, dear members of the groups, it was so fascinating that the Hungarian Parliament decided, the Hungarian Parliament and partly the government decided about the future of this group for the next 5 years. Therefore, now a team is working about the Professors Network 2022. We had 4 new topics, one connected to the right to privacy, one to the parental responsibility, one to the national and state symbols and their constitutional protection, and also about environmental protection, especially the right to the healthy environment in this region and in their constitution. It's worth noticing that some days ago there was a decision and a new organization was established. This is Central European Academy. This Central European Academy will continue the Central European Professors Network as a program. This organization is going to start its project in January 2022. Of course, it does not mean that Ferenc Mádl Institute will not continue its activity. Of course, the Institute is going to pursue research connected to the governmental job, to the governmental lawmaking activity. Also, our colleagues, they will pursue their own research activity. And I hope that we can cooperate as well in connection with the next year's Professors Network. But there is a new organization, and I hope that's a nice future for the Central European Professors Network. Dear colleagues, thank you so much for your contribution.